Good morning, dear teacher. I am going to tell you the initial analysis to The Nightingale and the Rose story by Oscar Wilde. Norris. There was a picture of a young man sitting on the ground. The text was written in prose, and the title left me confused since there are two characters, but I was not able to identify who the protagonist could be without starting to read it. Pattern. The author repeats and uses some phrases and dialogues reflecting the altruistic effort that makes the Nightingale for helping the young student. He also uses patterns to encourage her, the Nightingale, to create and make a red rose, despite she had to sacrifice her life to get it. Finally, the author uses the simple past, but he employs the simple present and the future goodwill to emphasize facts that will happen. Regarding the contrast point of this story, the author uses the pronoun she to describe a nightingale, even though she is of the female genre. Similarly, he highlights love as a supreme feeling more valuable than precious emeralds, but he also showed it with a requirement imposed. Feeling. The story was developed around a hedonic tone, so all the characters in this story seem to understand that there is not reason to suffer from the absence of material things like a rose. And it becomes disturbing because it seems that anyone could stop the nightingale's die. What basically it is about: an unnecessary suicide. The nightingale finished with her life for making a red rose, believing that this sacrifice will give the student love, but it was never close to happening. What would you like to know more about it? Why the author uses compound words joined with a hyphen, like to hyphen tomorrow? Why does not he just write tomorrow? Also, I will classify the story of the Nightingale and the Rose as a fairy tale, since it uses fantasy but also a narrative, romantic text to describe a romantic story with a bitter text at the end. Who is addressing? Children, adults, and people in a society, since the author talks about animals, but he focuses on solving a problem. Where and when? The story was written in 1888. The setting is in a garden where the nightingale knew the problem that the student had, and the cold weather was the perfect environment for a red rose to never grow. How precisely it is done? The author uses clear and simple language with short grammatical structures. He also makes comparisons, employs a variety of adjectives, and a lot of exclamation marks. Why does it seem have to be writing? To tell us, in my personal opinion, to tell us that money or material things as a rose cannot give us happiness, because we never put our attention to love and only search to accumulate rows and rows and rows. Finally, if the text were changed, the message could not be understood. So this story represents the current society where people search to accumulate material things, thinking that it is the key to being happy, but they continue feeling empty. Thank you so much.